All right, when you hear the word Maldives, what comes to mind? For most of us, it's those picture-perfect beaches, right? Overwater bungalows, luxury resorts. But behind that idyllic scene, there's a huge shift happening. The government there is making some really bold moves that are set to completely reshape its workforce and, by extension, its entire economy. So let's get into it. What's really going on in paradise?
So, why would an island nation that's so famous for its tourism start making these massive changes to its foreign worker rules? Well, it really all boils down to this. For years, the Maldives has, relied heavily on an expatriate workforce to fuel its growth. But now, they're changing the rules of the game. It's all about tackling the very real, immediate challenges of a big and, frankly, unregulated workforce, while at the same time planning for a future where their own citizens get more opportunities right there at home.
Okay, so let's break down exactly what the government's strategy is here. It's basically a two-pronged attack on a really complex problem, one that looks at both the present and the future.
So, at its very core, the government is tackling this on two fronts. On one hand, they're dealing with the immediate headache of undocumented workers who are already in the country. And then, on the other hand, they're putting brand new rules in place to control who gets hired from now on. The end goal? To build a much more self-sufficient labor market.
So first up, let's look at the future-facing part of this plan. The government is getting super specific here, basically cordoning off a whole set of skilled jobs and saying, these are for our citizens only.
Okay, so the government has straight up banned hiring new expatriates in several really key fields. And just take a look at this list. We're not talking about unskilled labor here. I mean, these are skilled professions: nurses, teachers, beauticians, even pilots. This sends a super clear signal, right? The intention is to build up a homegrown talent pool for these absolutely essential services.
And it's not just about stopping new hires either. This is the big one. Over the next 2 to 5 years, any existing employment quotas for these jobs, they're being phased out. And once they're gone for good. They won't be reissued. So this is a really long-term structural shift. It's designed to fundamentally reduce the country's reliance on foreign labor.
Okay, so that's the plan for the future. But what about right now? Well, the government is also tackling the situation on the ground with a very direct and very serious crackdown on undocumented labor. And this crackdown has 3 really clear steps. First, they're actively deporting workers who are in the country illegally. Second, they're shutting down any businesses being run unlawfully by expatriates. And third, and this might just be the most significant move of all, they're launching a massive campaign to collect biometric data from every single foreign worker. Yeah, this biometric mandate, it's really the backbone of the entire crackdown. It's all about data, identification, and then, of course, enforcement. The goal is actually pretty simple when you think about it. Create a foolproof, comprehensive database of every single expatriate in the country. The idea is to leave absolutely no room for anyone to fly under the radar. And to give you a sense of the sheer scale of this operation, just look at this number. Authorities have already collected biometric data from almost 200,000 expatriates. This is not some small pilot program, folks. It's a massive, nationwide effort, and it's already well underway. And listen, the president himself has made the stakes absolutely crystal clear. This isn't optional, he said, and I quote, "Any expatriate who fails to provide biometrics will be deported upon identification." I mean, there is absolutely zero ambiguity in that message. It's pretty stark. So, when you put all these pieces together, what does it actually mean? Let's zoom out for a second and look at the big picture here. It really is a two-front strategy, and you can see it laid out perfectly here. On one side, they're controlling the future labor supply, banning certain jobs, phasing out those quotas for good. And on the other side, they're managing the present, deporting illegal workers and using biometric data to track everyone. It's a simultaneous push to, 1, regain control, and 2, build a much more self-sufficient economy for the long haul. But a shift this big, this fast, it naturally raises some huge questions, doesn't it? As the Maldives reclaims these jobs and tightens control, you have to wonder about the ripple effects. I mean, can they develop their own local talent fast enough to fill all these newly protected jobs? And what happens to an economy that's so heavily reliant on tourism when you suddenly tighten the rules on the very foreign labor that helped build it? Honestly, that's the real unknown here as this very bold experiment begins to unfold.